Hello everyone! If you haven't seen the starting episode of this, I did a deck tech on this deck so far. This is Bad Rats is what I'm calling it. So this is, despite appearances, a Singleton event, which means you can only have one card of each, you can only have one copy of a card, besides basic lands. We get around that though, because we have Rat Colony, and Rat Colony can have any number of cards named Rat Colony in a deck. So we're cheating the system and we're going to be trying to play some rats. This hand looks good. If you want to see the deck tech and why I picked certain cards and what they're in there for, then go ahead and look down below because I've got it in the description. We're going to just play our games and see how we do. I've done really well with this deck so far, and oh man, Fatal Push is a great card for us to hit. I do wish I was on the play with this hand because this is really aggressive. There's a lot of Singleton decks that I found that are like kind of late game value decks, and rats can take a good, what do they have for blue? Just opt? Because they're not playing anything. It seems like they've got something they're holding up. But this can have a lot of punch early on and just kind of take advantage of a deck that stumbles a little bit by being a slow value deck. Because most people are playing like 3 or even 4 colors. Just really slow, grindy control magic. A lot of battle cruiser magic, as they say. Okay, reveal a card and exile it. I'm going to guess Dreadshade, maybe Fatal Push, depending on what they have. Doomfall is a card. What you got? I would think Dreadshade, but I could very well be wrong. I mean, Rat Colony and Dreadshade are about the same right now. It's going to be a 3-1 versus a 3-3. Sure, this one pumps up, but I do have to use my mana for it, and I want to be playing other cards. So they might have to think about that. Plus, obviously, Rat Colony gets better in multiples. Oof. More land is really bad. We don't actually have that many in our deck. We have 22. So having 6 already is kind of bad. Well over a quarter of the lands in our deck. Unfortunate. Yeah, we do not want... Oh, wow. And more land. This is really awkward. Quite awful, in fact, but we'll see what happens. If they don't have removal, we've got a lot of punch here, so that's pretty good. I feel like they have it, but we're still going to go for it. I might leave up Fatal Push. That's the question, is if I leave up Fatal Push or not. I think I do. And I'm pretty sure that they'll just respond by killing it. Or killing one or the other. Sure. Fine. Pump it one last time. And do they have a bounce spell? Nope. That's good. At least Dreadshade is dealing a lot of damage because we have all these lands. But boy, I could really use some non-lands. I mean, we have almost a third of all the lands in our deck in the top, like, less than a quarter. That's pretty awful, as you might imagine. Not where we want to be. Alright. Show me what you got. I mean, I think that I just pump it up all the way. They'll probably kill it. Although they didn't have it last turn, or they would have used it. So I don't know. Something like Vraska's Contempt is likely. Here we go. They just wanted us to tap out. But I mean, I have nothing to play, unfortunately. Yeah, there we go. Really unlucky start here. Just a lot of flood. Hopefully we hit something like Secret Salvage, because that'll just give us a ton of value. We can rebuild our hand very quickly if we get the right cards. Something like Immortal Sun, Salvage, even Vanquisher's banner would be okay, even though we don't have rats yet. There's a rat. Counterspell. I mean, they might not counter it because they know that we're just trading it with Skittering Surveyor unless we use Fatal Push, as far as they're concerned. Okay. Yeah, so we can't win now. Unfortunately, we just, like I said, we just drew way too many lands. And they had the good removal spells for all of our stuff. We can't beat Nicol Bolas. There's no possible way that we can do it. Yeah. I don't think that it's even vaguely reasonable for us to beat it at this point. It's too bad. Really sick draw from our opponent in comparison to like just how flooded we were. It's real bad. Real bad. Normally we could have put more pressure on them and actually had some chance of doing it, but like, yeah, right now, I mean, Nicol Bolas is now just gonna -4. I mean, they can exile both cards from our hands, so we just have nothing. We're stuck fighting Nicol Bolas. This is about like a 99.9% chance that we lose this game, which is really unfortunate. I think we have to attack Nicol. And it's just going to exile both cards from our hand, and they have a bunch of card draw, a ton of cards in hand, and we're super dead. We needed some more high impact cards and a lot less land. Way less land. Yeah.
Let us begin.
The only real possibility we have is being just top decking Secret Salvage and hitting another land. Wow, that's so awful. Yeah, we're a quarter of the way through our deck, and we've drawn over a third of all the lands in our deck by a fair margin. So that sucks. I'm just gonna have to scoop this because there's not really much point in continuing to play. Too bad. We'll try for the next one. Hopefully they won't immediately have Nicol Bolas. That's probably the best card they could have. I mean, it curved immediately into it. That's pretty gross, especially in Singleton. Hard to do. And we also just really flooded out. So let's go to a next game. Well, one of the fun things about this deck is that it is consistent. It's got a bunch of rat colonies and a little bit of swamps. I actually like this hand quite a bit. A lot of decks will stumble slightly, and we can take advantage of that. Plus, we're not flooding out here, which is good. Because, man, last time, we actually just really don't want to have that many lands. We saw it the last game, like, we do have 6-drops, we do have some late-game cards, but for the most part, like, we are running 22 lands. We only want, like, 3 or 4 most of the time. For the majority of the game, if we can just have, like, 3 lands, that's perfect for us. 3, 4, that's excellent. We can drop 2 rats a turn. We really don't need to be at 6 mana 90% of the time. It's real bad for us to hit that high of a total. We don't want to get anywhere near that. This one, we could use another one, though. I mean, 4 is great. I mean, we have some consistency currently. I think they're just going to have to trade because we've got so much damage coming in. Like, most people just don't expect this to happen. Let's see if they have a board wipe. Tendershoot Dryad. Ooh, that is super scary. We need a removal spell pretty fast. I mean, we are playing 2 rats a turn, so we have a little bit of a chance. We really hope that they block. Yeah. I'm like, they're not going to, but it would be excellent if we could actually get them to block with Tendershoot. Ooh. Yeah, Tendershoot is a very hard card for us to beat. At least with a hand like this. We need something else, which is why we do put in removal. We have a bunch of removal spells. So there's still a good chance that we can top deck something. Or another rat colony. I'm still just going to throw everything I have at them. Letting them build up the board isn't going to be helpful. I need to just use what I can. Yeah, they'll block everything. We're just going to try and hope that we can get to a point where we draw a removal spell and then we can punch through some damage. Gain 3 life? Sure. This Tendershoot is just destroying us. Yeah. Okay, well, we can't throw away any more rats, and that might be the end of the game, because we haven't drawn any removal. This deck is a one-trick pony sometimes, and Tender Shoot is, if not the best card against us, definitely very close. The other one that's really, really bad for us to see is Walking Ballista, but I think Tender Shoot might actually be better if we don't have the removal. We have a ton of removal spells, actually. Like, we do have a very large percentage of removal, so it's unfortunate that we haven't hit any, but that's just what's going to happen sometimes. They're going to get a lot of cards off of this feed. Wow, it's going to be insane. They had a really sick hand against us. Tender Shoot's just hard to beat if we don't have the right card. Rishkar's Expertise is also excellent. So they draw 3, and then they can put a 6 or less. Vizier, sure. We just need to get rid of this Dryad. We still have a chance. We can still do it. But we really need to kill Dryad. More land is absolutely not what we want. Well, it was a good try. This at least was a fast game. I think that was our last chance to really find an answer to it, because now they just have way too many Dryads for us to get over. And they've got, like, they're drawing a million cards here. We're buried under value. Good try, though. We got really close. If they didn't have the Tender Shoot, I mean, that game was pretty easy to sew up. Tender Shoot was about the only creature that they could have. Even a Walking Ballista, like I said, which is one of the worst cards we can see, wouldn't have really saved them there. They needed a board wipe or something like Tender Shoot. Even, I mean, honestly, even a board wipe probably was better for us there. Tender Shoot is just so much incredible value turn after turn after turn against our deck where we just can't beat past it. Okay, we have a good draw card this time, and we have Rat Colony as a start. So I can maybe get a little bit of aggression here. Opponent mulligans. That might be a very good sign for us. Swamp, and let's go. Harsh Scrutiny. Alright, so we lose the Rat Colony. Unfortunate. I'm not sure that Harsh Scrutiny is normally what you'd want to play, but in a Singleton event where there's a lot of different, like, just really high-value single targets, Harsh Scrutiny definitely becomes better than normal. Duress. Okay, perfect. Well, I mean, this kind of just seems like the way things are going. Opponents have the right cards. Man, Karn would have been amazing here. Unfortunately, kind of stuck now. They know that we have removal. I'm just going to get rid of this cast down, and they know about it already. We don't want to let Gifted Aetherborn last anyways. No Fatal Push? That's good. We've got a lot of land. I'm really hoping that we start drawing like a Vanquisher's Banner, Immortal Sun, just something. A Poisoner to make a 1/1. That's actually really annoying against us. I almost want to... Do I Contempt that? It's such a high value... Wow, more land. It's such a high value removal spell to use on such like a minor creature, but at the same time making a 1/1 is pretty good against us. Phew. I just really need to stop drawing land this time. Or draw something that actually gives us an advantage because of it. Losing Karn here was incredibly awful. Really rough. I think that we had to kill that, though. Poisoner's just too much. Soul Salvage to get back... Wait. Did they not... Wow, they clicked through and didn't return anything. Oh my goodness, and they immediately reveal Gonti. That's incredibly bad for us. It's probably just a rat. We'll just wait. We can Hour of Glory the Gonti, I suppose. Let's hope that they don't hit anything good. Well, the odds that it's a rat are really high. I'm scared that with how things have been going, it's going to be something really good, like Liliana or Immortal Sun. They slammed it, so it's either a bunch of rats and they didn't have much of a choice, or they've just, like, absolutely nailed amazing card. I'm gonna let that hit us for a little while. For quite a while. Man, we're at a third of all of our land again. Quarter of the way through the deck, third of all the land. We need to stop doing that. We need some draw spells and, like, some better value stuff. Moment of Craving. Sure. That's not great for us, but boy, it sure could have been a lot worse. Like, we need things like our Gonti, or, I mean, Karn, Immortal Sun, Vanquisher's Banner. We've got all these high-value things, and I'm just hitting a lot of lands, unfortunately. We're just 3 lands ahead of our opponent, which, I mean, those 3 cards are already on the board. And that's what's losing us the game currently. It's too bad. Sometimes that's just what happens. Man, this might be the first time that I play this deck and actually lose value off of it. That really sucks. Torgar. Hello. That's actually kind of amazing for us. It only deals 2 damage, and it wiped their board. We have a chance to get out of this. We just need to stop drawing land. Please. Please, 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 please. Okay, I mean, it's not the card that I want. It's not the #1 thing that I wanted to see. But Rat Colony is at least something that we can play. Jossie Vest, sure. I can double block. Not sure how much I want to. We'll see. Please have a land. No, they've got removal. Or Trespasser's Curse. Okay. Oof. Man. This is rough. No, and they've got removal now. Yep. Wow. Yeah, this is just really rough. Just some awkward, bad draws. Yeah. I mean, it's just too late now. Like I said, we do have some things that we can push through damage with. We do have ways to counter this, but we just can't draw them. We're just drawing way too many lands. Because imagine we're playing less lands than most decks, and we're just drawing a lot more than pretty much everybody else that we've played against. So that makes things really hard for us to win. I mean, we're essentially like 3 to 4 cards down on every opponent that we're playing against. That's going to lose us a lot of games. And Rat Colony is a card that we want to draw a lot of, but we're also not drawing, like, we're not drawing Immortal Suns, we're not hitting Karns, we're not hitting Vanquisher's Banner. So those are the kinds of cards that we need to hit. Like, we need Dreadshade. Dreadshade would have been great here. Noxious Gearhulk. That is actually a fantastic card for us. That's good for us to see. So we can kill the Dreadshade. Unfortunately, I'd love to kill Jossie, but I have to kill Dreadshade. Just not a choice. Dreadshade is a lot bigger than Jossie right now. And let's hope that our opponent hits some lands here like we did. Looks like they did. Wow, we're still hitting more, though. Is that half of all of our lands? Yeah. Yep, exactly half. Ooh, baby. Rat Colony would have actually been excellent here. Another removal spell. Dead Man's Chest. Uh-oh. Don't have removal. If they have removal for that, that's so bad. Wow. Whew. Okay. Nope. We could have put them to 1, but we can't quite kill them. Maybe they're flooded like we are? Ooh, Immortal Sun. Alright, well, that is the game currently. For sure. Do we get it? Can we recover this incredible flood? Woo! Alright, we're not totally down and out. We won a game. Oh, man, these draws have been really rough. Let's draw some more like that, though, at the end. We do have those high-value things. We have the Noxious Gearhulk. We have the Immortal Sun. And if we hit them, we can do stuff with it. We just need to actually draw them. Okay, we've got some momentum. Let's carry it through. This hand is awful. With one more land, if we did like remove Gonti or Vanquisher's banner or something for one land, I would absolutely keep this. But I don't think we can. If we were on the draw even, I might keep it, because if we get one land, we can just start slamming rat colonies, but it's way too risky this time. So I think we have to mulligan. That's really bad for us. Exceptionally bad. We've had a lot of tough luck this time around, though. Alright, well, we've got some removal. I definitely don't want another land. I'm so tired of drawing too many lands. Let's draw a reasonable amount. Hey, there's some of our rats. I'm gonna hope that our opponent might have a chance to stumble here and we can just overwhelm them with rats before they can recover. We haven't been able to do that yet. We've really had a hard time actually getting any kind of momentum going with this deck because we're just drawing so many lands. But this is a decent start anyways. I'm actually just going to throw a rat colony away rather than use Moment of Craving yet. I'd like to add to the board. That is scary that they're willing to just take the damage because that means they really need this Servant of the Conduit to power something out. If I draw land, though, I can Moment and Rat Colony, which is another reason why I want to do it this way, because that just leaves us with 12 damage on the board. And we might be able to overwhelm them. We can also settle the score something large if we draw land. Like I said, we've been doing that a lot. We've been drawing a lot of land, so I'm going to hope that this time we can do exactly what we've been doing the whole time. There we go. See? Perfect. Man, I'm still tempted to just, like, play another rat, but we should probably kill Rishgar. Too bad that the Servant is now too big for our Moment of Craving. Rishgar was definitely one of the more annoying things to see. Ooh, they hit a land. Because they were suffering a bit from mana. Another reason for us to hit Rishgar, to make sure that they don't actually accelerate up to, like, 5. Ugh, Ravenous Chupacabra is gross. We still have 6 damage coming in. Well, sorry, 3 damage coming in. We're going to have 6 damage on board. Oh, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I'm so done drawing lands. Stop doing this to me. We're so close to killing them. We're so close. Uh-oh. Yeah, they're hitting the lands. They actually want to hit lands, I'm sure. They've been trying to accelerate out. They've been stuck a little bit. They kind of stumbled, but they've been drawing out of it almost perfectly. And we've been drawing into a little bit of, yeah, a lack of interaction here, which is going to cause us some major problems. They're going to -2? Nope. I don't know. I feel like I would -2 there. Because if you -2... I maybe shouldn't have done that either. It's a tap land, so I didn't mind too much. Oh yeah, we're absolutely killing that. I'd -2 just because it gives a blocker to rat colonies, and you're on a low life total. I think that makes a lot of sense. We could either kill Karn, or we could go at their face. Close. I think we kill Karn. Ooh, hello. I'm worried that if we just go face, they're at 2, and then they minus Karn, play a creature, and we're in a lot of trouble. It's a tough one to say that whether or not we hit the right thing or not. Alright, now they'll plus to get a zombie as a blocker. And more land. I mean, we can expect to have about 6 lands right now. It's a little bit more than we want, but it's a reasonable draw. Can't really commit Liliana. Liliana really stops us. I'm just gonna go face. Stop at least a little bit of this. Hopefully hit like Vraska's Contempt so we can just remove Liliana.
Nothing is more loyal than the dead.
Or honestly, it'd be really nice to hit one of our really high impact cards. Vanquisher's Banner, Immortal Sun, Karn, Liliana. We've got a bunch of these cards that we can fight them on. Like, They played Liliana, and that's why we're in trouble. But we have our own Liliana. Like, we can play the same game. We just need to get there. No real reason to attack, because we just trade, and then we'll just play another one. They might actually minus Liliana here next turn. Yeah, I mean, really, really likely. I've got to find a way to kill it. Uh-oh. That's a lot of mana they're tapping. Yeah, Vraska. Immortal Sun would be insane. It just negates both of these and gives us a big board.
Look what I found.
Be super helpful. Make a pirate. Yep. Immortal Sun. Immortal Sun. Or a rat colony. Which I can expect to draw. It's #1 card in our deck. Well, unfortunately, I think we can probably just scoop them up here because we just don't have any of our high impact cards again. We really got to draw more of the Planeswalkers, more of the draw spells, more Immortal Suns and Vanquisher's Banners and stuff like that so that we can actually push through to damage. Rat Colony's great if they stumble, but our opponent, like, stumbled really slightly and then immediately drew perfect, and we just had a lot of trouble. We had a couple lands on some key turns where we needed to force through some pressure, and they also drew lands, but they needed it because they had all gas in their hand. And we just had all of our early game stuff. I'm surprised that they would plus Vraska before Liliana, because I feel like they would minus Liliana here. Maybe they're just going to draw something back, like maybe they get Steel Leaf Champion. I wouldn't be surprised at that. Like, kind of surprised, though. I feel like my play would have been to -7 Liliana plus the Vraska, because then you just make sure we have nothing. Like, they didn't need the Noxious Gearhulk. They can just hold it in hand for something afterwards. It seems unnecessary. But it kind of doesn't matter. They've got 2 active Planeswalkers, and we just have only rats. Which we can expect to do a lot of. Alright, well, looks like that's the game. Darn! I haven't gotten less than like a 5-3 with this deck before, but we had some rougher draws, and it was just a little bit tough. We really need to hit those Immortal Suns and stuff like that, like I said. I mean, we just need our high-impact cards. We didn't really get there. Our opponents hit a lot of high-impact cards. We just didn't really do the same. So, the deck is a lot of fun. People really don't expect the rats to come out. We needed an opponent to stumble, too, because if an opponent just misses on lands for 2 or 3 turns, then we can just get in there with the rats. That's really where I like the deck, is because if you can play rats early and your opponents stumble at all, everybody's on these value trains, and they're just all late game kind of stuff. Like, they're looking at like 5s and 6s. And a lot of times you can kill them by turn 5 with rats. If you just have a bunch of rats and 2 mana, you just smash through. Like 2 or 4 mana and you just play a bunch of rat colonies out. If they stumble at all in that kind of a game, you just get them. We just didn't see that. We never saw an opponent actually hit that stumble. The opponents just kept on hitting the value cards they needed to get us. Things like Tendershoot Dryad and Liliana, like stuff that just made a lot of cheap blockers for them to stop our rats. And we kept on hitting walls of lands at the same time. So it just like a really bad matchup that way for what our draws were happening versus what our opponents were doing. I think that our deck can do a lot better than this. I don't think the deck is bad at all because I've been playing it quite a bit and I've had a really good success with it. I definitely recommend trying it out. Some things that you might want to change is I could use more card draw because as we saw there, we kept on hitting things that we just didn't want. We kept on drawing way too many lands. We kept on drawing like all the rats later in the game when we needed an Immortal Sun, where we needed a Noxious Gearhulk just to push through that last little bit of damage, or like a Secret Salvage. We never saw any of our high impact cards. We only saw rats. We only saw our like Moments of Craving. We never saw any of like the really big game-changing cards, like a Gonti just slamming a Planeswalker from our opponent's deck, or hitting the Vanquisher's Banner, an Immortal Sun. We didn't really do that. And that's what the deck needs to push it through in those late game situations. So, like, extra card draw might be good instead of a Dreadshade. We've got a lot of punch. We don't necessarily need to have that. So maybe, like, a Dark Bargain would be a good idea to put in here. So something like that might be a good card to test out. So I'd definitely take a look at that. I would try and do maybe like cut a couple rats if you can find other good card draw spells like that, just to maybe give it that little bit of extra consistency of hitting some of these late game spells, because I haven't had that problem before, but boy, we really hit a lot of lands and a lot of like rats and like low impact removal rather than our high impact removal and our big spells. So we need to have a little bit more consistency for times like this. In any case, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll be back again next week with some more. I'm going to be doing a non-Singleton video as well this week, just because I think that we should do some other ones, and I've got a really cool list to show you. I'm going to try and do another Singleton video next week as well, because Singleton is a cool format. I've been a little bit tired of like the grind in Standard, and the Singleton here is kind of a new format that we can breathe fresh life into. There's a lot of cool brews to build around, and I really like the potential of it. So I'm going to do some more videos of that, and if you'd like to follow, I'd really appreciate it. You can subscribe down below, or you can check out my Patreon. You can also check out my sponsor, inkgaming.com. I'm sending out some new tokens right away for all my patrons. We're doing some Pickle Horror tokens based on our Pickle Challenge charity event, and I really appreciate everybody stopping by and helping support me with that. The Patreon has recently hit some of our goals. I can't tell you how happy I am for that. It was really, really nice. We've been trying to make this work as a full-time gig for a while, and we've hit some of our goals to actually do that. So all of you wonderful people have really helped me with that and supported this channel, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. I'll see you soon.